Hey, what's happening, guys? Joey B here. If you remember back when I first started making videos a few months ago, I talked a lot about the North American Union and everything. So I just want you guys to know that if you want to know a lot about everything there is to know, basically, about the North American Union, you should subscribe to NAU Resistance. And I'll put a link to his channel down below. Amazing channel, everything you need to know about the NAU, as I said. And you won't regret subscribing there, let me tell you. A lot of great stuff on there, and I'm going to post probably 20 to 30 links down below in the description box below this video to documentaries and mainstream news clips and articles and everything else. But basically, I'm just going to play this short little video here from NAU Resistance and leave you on that, and I'll post all the links below so you can learn about the North American Union and how they basically want to change Canada into 6 states and merge us with the U.S. and Mexico. And, you know, obviously you heard about the North American currency that would be called the Amero. It seems now that they're moving away from this and just going right to a global devalue of the currencies and economy. However, this is still very important to understand this, especially if you live in North America. So I'll post about 20 to 30 links below, and with those links and going to NAU Resistance's channel, you get everything you need to know. So I'll put the links below. Cheers, and I'll play this video later, guys.
That what we now have under this new government is a police state. How do you respond?
Well, you know, very clearly, we are not a police state, and we have no intention of being a police state.
The U.S. is so concerned about terrorists coming from north of the 49th parallel. Colin Powell says it may require Canadians to register their personal biometric profile before being allowed to cross the border. In other words, you'd have to have your thumb scanned by a fingerprint reader or your eyes checked by a retinal scanner.
Our border with the U.S. is the longest unprotected border in the world, but since September 11th, that has been changing. Now, several Canadian agencies are looking at new remote security technology that could monitor illegal activity in those thousands of kilometers of open border.
I'm only here tonight to express my concern as a citizen and as someone who takes the metro every day, to inform all of you that there are many of us in the city who know the truth about what happened on September 11th, what happened in London on 7/7, and that you had better make sure that nothing happens to our city, because if an attack happens in the metro and you try and blame it on Al-Qaeda or Iran or whatever they're going to try and blame it on, we will not believe you.
Well, millions of Canadians do it every day, take some sort of natural health product. In fact, close to 3/4 of us take vitamins. But some fear their access to supplements and minerals could be restricted if the Harper government passes Bill C-51.
Red camera on a police vehicle scanning plates in a parking lot. The camera, attached to a computer linked to a stolen car database, will instantly tell car theft cops they have a hot one.
First of all, the bill would compel internet service providers to give all personal information to police about clients that they're taking a look at, such as home address, name, phone number, and so on. And the police can do this without first seeking a warrant, just on their own suspicion. Police can activate remotely the tracking devices on cell phones so that they can track you without you knowing it. And it's also made, it is now a crime to participate with anybody else on the internet for the purposes of child sexual exploitation.
There was also a secret agreement that was signed between the Canadian military and the U.S. military, allowing the U.S. military to operate on Canadian soil under U.S. command, if it has the permission of the Canadian government. Now, how did we find out about this? Well, the Canadian government kept it secret, so did the Canadian military. The U.S. military, though, broadcast it on their website. So Canadians found out through the U.S. that this agreement had been signed on February 14th.
This country's top security official says plans are in place to perform fingerprint and retina scans on all visitors to Canada. Digital prints and photographs are already taken at foreign visa offices, but the incoming head of the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service says that program is going to be extended to include citizens of 60 countries who are able to visit Canada without a visa.
Listening, a CBC News investigation has revealed police forces across Canada are using secretive wiretaps without a judge's approval. The practice is completely legal.
Singled out and persecuted by government forces determined to enforce their own agenda. A Canada where only the police and military have guns.
They want every firearm seized in this country. That's the long-term agenda.
Once a populace doesn't have the ability to defend itself, it's no longer a governed nation, it's a ruled nation.
The debate is settled. The debate is over. Gun control will be implemented.
A balloon that's being tested by a U.S. company in hopes of landing a border surveillance contract. It's equipped with a camera that can read the letters on the side of a ship 14 kilometers away.
It's very straightforward. It's an invasion of our privacy as Sarnians, as Canadians. It's an invasion of our sovereignty.
Absolutely mind-boggling how a government can argue that it makes us safe to remove the rule of law. Because if you think it through, the rule of law is there to protect us from the state. And yet the state is passing legislation which seems more geared to protect the state against us than from us from safety concerns.
That includes the idea of requiring all Canadians to carry mandatory citizenship cards based on the Maple Leaf cards already carried by landed immigrants in Canada.
We should have a debate regarding what's going on the field, on the vigilance agenda. Should we have a national ID cards? There's right now 23 different ID cards in Canada.
Canada's top privacy watchdogs have already weighed into the debate, urging Canadians not to sacrifice the private details of their lives just because the government says it will make the country safer.
Internal police reports reveal that in one case, a subject ran from officers during a fare blitz, that's a check for free riders, and the taser was deployed as the subject fled. A second free rider was arrested but grabbed onto the platform railing and refused to let go. The taser was deployed.
I would call it a shocking abuse and misuse of a very significant weapon.
The guy is confronted by 4 police officers. One of the officers fires what sounds like a taser gun. You see it there. The man falls to the floor in convulsions, then stops moving about a minute later. This